Am I even doing this right? Ah! Hey guys, Manny back here with another video on the CascadeScents fragrance station, and I thought it'd be really cool to rant on this channel for once because I really haven't done that yet. But believe it or not, I actually do have some pet peeves with fragrances and the fragrance industry in general, so allow me to explain them. Now, I was actually inspired to do this video by bpwool, one of the more seasoned fragrance vloggers here on YouTube, because he did his own video about FragCom pet peeves a while back. And I thought that topic was pretty cool, so now I'm deciding to jump on this a couple of years after. But let me preface this list of pet peeves by saying that they're not really to do with the FragCom, but rather more trivial stuff, like to do with the fragrance's presentation or how certain people wear their fragrances around me. You know, stuff that actually affects me, so that's why I'm doing this type of video. So no, you won't see any of my pet peeves being like a fragrance that I actually dislike being the subject of community hype, or any reformulation riffraff that I'm actually not sure of, because that stuff actually doesn't affect me personally. But I'm actually excited to talk about the little thorns in my side that actually do affect me that haven't been corrected yet, starting with this, I guess, Amen sprayers. I'm feeling super petty right now. Let's get this list underway. Fragrance Pet Peeves 2016, let's go. So again, first pet peeve, Amen sprayers. Now, how does this affect me? Nobody wants to struggle with an act as simple as spraying. I'm not even asking for much here, not even looking for something that is really on point like a Chanel or Creed sprayer. I just want something more adequate than this shit. What this actually reminds me of are really bad dollar store water guns that you used to get as a child. Now, they would squirt alright when you first get it, but they kept getting worse and worse and worse until they got clogged or something. And that is how I feel with these rubber flasks. But hey, at least Amen and its flankers smell great. Thanks, Thierry Mugler. Next pet peeve is something that I used to partake in myself, and that's overspraying. Now, how does this affect me? Well, my nose will find it annoying. I'd say that the majority of people do not want to constantly smell a straight up bottle of a fragrance. No. In my opinion, less is more when it comes to fragrance. Small yet sizable whiffs once in a while are definitely more flattering, I find. Like when you walk by someone or when you initially walk into the place. At least that is how I've been able to get unsolicited compliments for the most part. Overspraying a fragrance may potentially subject yourself and others into olfactory fatigue, and it will be sure to fully choke out someone depending on how much you've sprayed and how that reacts with your body chemistry and the conditions of where you're at. On top of that, unnecessary sprays for me is like throwing money away. If you're going to do that, you might as well throw actual money at me. I think more people would appreciate it if you did that instead of overspraying. So overspraying equals bad. Next pet peeve is another one that is design related, and it is an opaque bottle design. Why does this affect me? Because I want to visually know how much of a fragrance I have left. I love a super clean design as much as the next guy. Like, some of my favorite fragrances are in my favorite looking bottles too. And on visual aesthetic alone, I actually prefer this solid color look myself. But despite that sexy design, I'd rather know how much fragrance I have left in something by simply looking at it. That's why opaque fragrance bottles are a fragrance pet peeve of mine. Now, the last pet peeve is non-design related, and it's people who wear fragrances for the wrong occasion. Obviously, there are super ambiguous scents that work well in just about any situation, and there are fragrances that aren't necessarily meant for a situation, but you won't offend anyone there with it either. But there are obvious fragrances that are meant to be used elsewhere, so allow me to explain that. For example, a few years ago in college, this was super rampant. Kids would actually use stuff like Yop Homme as an all-year signature scent. Now, I was a fragrance layman at the time, but even I knew that shit was only suitable for a night out or club. So I'm literally sitting in class trying to get stuff done, not wanting to be there, and homeboy to my left with messy ass hair, who probably didn't shower after a late ass night out, is straight up emanating. So what did he likely do to get ready this morning? I'm saying that dude probably covered up his odor and that Yop Homme residue with even more Yop Homme. Gross. So on top of homeboy smelling bad and out of place, I'm ticked off even furthermore because he probably had more fun than me last night while I was staying inside and doing my homework. So as sacrilegious as it sounds coming from a self-proclaimed fragrance head, sometimes I'd actually prefer an unscented school or work environment than a free-for-all like that. I'm not saying don't wear club scents because I dislike them. I'm saying that there's a time and place for everything. So not only should you dress for the occasion, but you should smell appropriate as well. Now, if your class or work's expectation is to be relatively unscented, then go buy yourself some amber pour homme already if you don't already own something that is overly subtle. And there it is, that about does it for my primary fragrance pet peeves of 2016. Thanks again for tuning into another video of mine, guys. Had a lot of fun discussing my pet peeves with you in the fragrance industry and fragrances in general. If you guys want to tell me what some of your fragrance pet peeves are, please let me know in the comment section below. If you have any constructive criticism and or other kind words, please tell me as well. And if you like this video and haven't thumbs it up yet, please do so. As well as subscribe if you want to see more great fragrance content. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you later. Take care.